And you're gonna be out there running around, not even remembering this day. I can't even forget.
So in this movie, you get to play a reporter. What was it like being on the flip side for a change?
Well, I think she's a pretty green journalist. You know, I don't think she's interviewed many people. I do think she's a good writer, but I think she spent a lot of her time kind of sorting her life out up until then. But I have had, myself a lot of experience with journalists, and I do think, although she's green and although she's a big fan of Bads when she goes in to interview him the first time, I don't think she's terrible at kind of trying to get inside what the truth of him is. It doesn't happen right away, but she does. I mean, they end up actually falling in love, but I do think she has kind of a beat on that, on how to get inside somebody.
Right. And what was the appeal of playing her character? It's a little different from anyone else you've played. A little more gritty.
She is. I think it's funny. I think as I've gotten older, I think I used to think that the ideal in my work, in my life, was to be kind of the strongest I could be, the fiercest I could be, to kind of bulldoze things. And the people I've played that I'm most proud of before this have been fierce that way. And I think Jean is so much more vulnerable, so much more feeling and open. And I only now, actually only probably in the last month, in a way, do I see the strength in that.
Right.
I think I knew it in my work before I knew it in my life. But I feel really proud of having played somebody that open,
Do you feel that you've just had more life experience and you had more to give in that respect?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. I mean, I'm a mom now. I also, I just turned 32. I'm different than I was when I made Sherry Baby or Secretary,
Right.
or Happy Endings. I was in my 20s. I was different, and I am really learning and seeing on, in the movie also I think the really just the strength in that kind of vulnerability, which I don't think I saw until pretty recently.
Right. And talk a little bit about the attraction that develops between these two characters, because it's so real.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
vulnerable, and yet
Yeah.
it's so strong in some ways.
I know, it's funny, a friend of mine who came to the premiere said to me, when they walk in the room together, you think this is never going to work, and if it works, then they're cheating. But then it does, then it's true. I mean, there's a 30-year age difference between us, and I watch it and I believe it, and I believed it when we played it. I don't know why. I don't know why that happens. I guess we both, those are the circumstances of the movie. If they don't really fall deeply in love with each other, even though it's a very flawed and very complicated relationship, then why watch the movie, But, and I guess we both knew that in order to do that, in order to make that work, we had to completely open our hearts to each other.
Right. And the chemistry that developed was so strong. What was it like working together with Jeff?
It was just the way I love to work. It was like every time it's different. Scenes would end on slightly different notes and meander through different places. Every time we just responded to each other. I mean, basically, we never talked about acting. I don't think either of us are really that into that, but when I met him, I feel like in 10 seconds, we didn't say it, we just looked at each other, I felt like we both just went, I'm actually really open for anything. And I felt it from him, he was open for anything. And then we just got down into it and made the movie, And it's an amazing luxury to have that, amazing,
And it transpired on screen because the film was amazing. Thank you so much, Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Thanks so much.
Complete. Now you're on the right track. You just keep going because he's your son. All right?
That is all I got.
Well, you keep after him. That's what you got to do.
I knew what the risks were with you, and I took them. I knew what the risks were with you, and I took them.
That's one hell of a song. This is gonna be your best year in the last 7.
Never too late, son. Never too late.
Thanks for coming out. It's so good to be home.